west where the wind blows free. A gambling man told a tale to me, said you never can win on the turn of a card. 'Cause with cards in hand, he's in command. He can make 'em jump to beat the band. Said you never can win on the turn of a card. Now a lot of folks are apt to gamble just the same, getting into trouble playing someone else's game. And the phonies are always looking around, waiting to take this kind, 'cause they never can win on the turn of a wheel. This gambling man showed a game to me with 3 walnut shells and a little old pea, but I never could win on that little old pea. You peep-picking folks who hear this song, remember, and you can't go wrong, that you never can win on that little old pea. You see, in the shell game, that old pea can seem to be under all 3 shells, but it's an illusion. It really isn't under any of the shells. Now let's open up another can of peas and look at one that also gives the illusion of fitting under 3 shells at once. The sports car shell, the family economy car shell, and the high performance car shell. So let's lift the shells ourselves and take a look. Is it under the sports car shell? Let's see how they handle. With base production equipment, Mustang leans when it should hold level. It nosedives when it should keep its head up. It's long on the turn when it should be short. It just doesn't have the chassis for this kind of fun and sport. This is Corvair's long suit. Sports car handling with independent rear suspension. Short turning radius, easy steering, a firm flat ride, a fun car with modern advancements. Does a few extra hundred in the optional equipment kitty make Mustang a high-performance sports car? Corvette is the only true American sports car. That's built in, not tacked on. It's fact, not fancy. Here, Corvette is the only bet. Is the Mustang P under the family economy car shell? Mustang's a T for 2 car. A reasonable price must be coupled with reasonable room for passengers and their luggage. Mustang's a 2-seater car. Chevy, too, has more space for luggage. And so is Corvair, for that matter. Is the Mustang P under the high-performance shell? Watch. Mustang is no highway bomb. Chevy, too, with a 327 and the SS 396, they're hot. Yes, sir, you can't beat the old shell game. Because if a P tries to be in 3 places at once, it'll end up no place. So why do people plunk their money down on Mustang? Maybe a lot of them think they're getting something they're not. Something you can give them. In spades. You've got the sports cars. You've got the family economy cars. You've got the highway performers. A car is one thing people don't want to gamble on. They want an honest car. No 3-way compromises. Now all you people who hear this song, remember, and you won't go wrong, that they never can win on the turn of a wheel. So find out their needs and fill them all in, 'cause you've got the cars to let them all win, and that's a much better deal than the turn of a wheel. That's a much better deal than the turn of a wheel. That's a much better deal than the turn of a wheel.
The legend of the Old West dies hard. In fact, it seems to grow stronger and more vigorous with each passing year. But did you ever think much about the realities of the Old West? Did you know that the Pony Express lasted only a few brief months? Or that Billy the Kid was from Brooklyn? Did you ever wonder if Texas John Ringo brushed his teeth after every meal? Or how Wild Bill Hickok got his clothes washed? Well, he probably washed them in a stream or sent them to a Chinese laundry. However, some folks had a contraption like this. They called it a washing machine, probably shipped west by train. But how did they haul things like that from the station? Certainly not on horseback. As a matter of fact, they used a station wagon. That's right, the station wagon idea was born in the Old West. Of course, the early models only had 1 or 2 horsepower, and they still had leaf springs. Come to think of it, so has Plymouth. But essentially, they were designed to do the same thing as modern station wagons, serve as containers for people and cargo. Here's one of the earliest horseless station wagons by Ford. It clung to the horse-drawn styling, as you can see from the exposed row of bolts which held the panels in place. Today, Ford still clings to this carryover look from the past. But we've come a long way from the first word on the subject to the last word, the 1966 Caprice Custom Wagon. Talk about coachwork. Just look at how these panels are set into high-styled, bright-work moldings. The look of rich, grained wood, fashioned for today. Today's station wagons don't just go to the station. They're faced with today's realities.
Let's start with fuel capacity. Ford's been talking larger fuel tanks. But on station wagons, where added fuel capacity is needed for long-distance driving, Ford puts on a 20-gallon tank. Plymouth, a 22-gallon tank. Chevrolet, a 24-gallon tank. Fuel capacity where it counts. The ultimate handling test for wagons is under heavy loads. These 6 passengers and their luggage have a combined weight of about 1,200 pounds. Let's load them aboard. See the way the Plymouth squats? Bottoms down for Ford. And here, we have an advantage not available to Plymouth and Ford, our optional automatic level control. Ford offers a level control option, but it's not automatic. You have to do this to it first. But with Chevrolet, with automatic level control, you just load and go. Plymouth has no such option. Look at how Plymouth handles with a full load. If you don't believe it, try it. That'll make a believer out of you. Now watch Chevrolet. Remember, too, that Chevrolet has wider wheel tread than both Ford and Plymouth for greater stability, and a quicker steering ratio for better handling. Chevrolet has a roomier front and second seat than either Plymouth or Ford, and has far easier access to the rear seat than Plymouth due to a more gradual slant from roof to tailgate. See what I mean? And in the Ford wagon, sitting in the rear seat is kind of a face-to-face affair, sort of side saddle. Compare the third seat in the Caprice Custom wagon, where you not only sit in comfort, but have room to spread out. In the matter of cargo, carrying it is one thing, but getting it in is another. The Chevrolet load floor is wide enough between the wheel wells to hold a stack of standard 48-inch wide wall paneling. Watch this. Paneling, plywood, wallboard, and the like have to ride flat or suffer possible damage. Plymouth, with less than 45 inches between wheel wells, is a poor buy for the do-it-yourselfers that populate our country. And Chevrolet can carry more cargo, too. For loading convenience, tailgates should be close to the ground and not extend too far out, and they should provide a flat, sturdy platform. This is doubly critical with Ford's double-opening tailgates. It can sag and get out of alignment. Fortunately, with a little ingenuity, you can trip the hinges and just let it dangle. How about that? Now, let's consider protection from dust and weather. That traditional pocket of turbulent air causes the dust to billow up behind, which is all right as long as the rear window is closed. But look what happens when you roll the window down in the Plymouth. Chevrolet's slant-back rear design minimizes air turbulence. The result? Most of the dust stays outside. What about Ford? Well, they're proud of their built-in air deflectors, which are supposed to blow dust and rain off the rear window. Chevrolet has feature advantages and size advantages all across the board. Chevrolet offers 3 full lines to cover the buyers of regular-sized wagons, intermediate wagons, and compact economy wagons. Chevrolet wagons are built on a 119-inch wheelbase, 115-inch wheelbase, and 110-inch wheelbase. Ford also offers 3 lines, but they are compromise sizes. A 119-inch wheelbase, a 113-inch wheelbase, less of an answer to the intermediate market than we have. And the same 113-inch wheelbase, which is no answer for the compact-minded man with a compact garage, compact parking space, or compact hauling needs. This year, Ford is building its Falcon wagons on the Fairlane chassis, an economy for Ford, but not for Ford buyers. In Chevy 2 wagons, you have major advantages over Falcon wagons. Lower price, higher resale, quicker steering ratio, shorter turning diameter, lighter weight, and the most trouble-free and lowest maintenance cost wagon on the market today. All this, coupled with Ford's leaving the compact economy market, provides a wide open field for you. Here is one of your major 1966 selling opportunities. And your stronger position in the intermediate market gives you an additional selling advantage. You have the best answers to the needs of individual wagon buyers. Go after them in every segment of the market.
Space on wheels, plus you have it to sell. And you have it in the most popular sizes. In the big wagons, the big market, you have 7 models to 5 for Ford and 6 for Plymouth. Chevelle also has many advantages over Fairlane and Belvedere. Roomier seats, a quicker manual steering ratio, a shorter turning diameter, a choice of 2 6-cylinder engines, and basically lower prices. And for those buyers who want less space in a trim, easy-to-handle container, you have Chevy too, while Ford has nothing, with its Falcon wagons now sharing a compromise size with Fairlane. You know, wagons have come a long way. That is, Chevrolet wagons.
All right. Ah, Mr. James Bond, I believe. Yes?
No, the, name is Bland. James Bland. B-L-A-N-D.
You may call me Dr. Yes.
Y-E-S?
Yes.
Oh, well, Dr. Yes.
Yes?
I was just doing a little daydreaming behind the wheel.
Yes.
Well, what I mean is I'm not really Secret Agent 007 and 7/8 at all.
Yes, but you see, when you step into the taillight zone, anything can happen.
Yes, anything could happen. And it was about to happen to me. As the world's greatest secret agent in the power of the world's greatest villain, the insidious Dr. Yes.
Now, 007 and 7/8, we're going to put you to the test. This airfield is my secret base, where we torture and torment.
People?
Oh, good heavens, no, that's against the law. Automobiles. Come. We've had this car made especially for you.
Wing machine guns, ejection seat, and all of that.
Oh, no. We found that those options had a somewhat limited market. This time, we've put all the goodies under the bonnet.
There it is. The 396 cubic inch turbojet V8. Special high-performance camshaft, 4-barrel carburetor, and large dual exhaust.
Horsepower?
360, but who counts? The interior is in full keeping with your image as a man of action. Strato-bucket seats, center console, recessed instrument cluster, all that sort of thing. But you'll be in some pretty fast company. Now then, I would like you to meet your competition. This is Granny Turissimo. She cheats. And Tony Tiger.
But why are you doing this?
Yes, you would want to know that, wouldn't you?
So let's tell him. He won't be around to blow the whistle on us. Take the difference in selling prices between Chevelle and the Bopettes, for instance.
Based on suggested retail prices, she quickly pointed out that comparable Chevelle models average up to $230 less than Tempest, up to $175 less than F-85, and up to $370 less than Buick Special.
As for the Fairlane GT, it's already a counterfeit GTO. We just need to add the O. Now, are you ready?
Yes, but where's my girl?
Oh, yes, how stupid of me. You do need a girl to rescue, don't you? Will she do?
I could see that she would. A go-go girl to go with my go-go car.
We are holding thousands just like her in cages all over the country. But that's another of my fiendish schemes. Let's get on with this one.
And we did. We faced a series of diabolical tests. The SS 396 against GTO and just plain GT. Each car the goingest performance model offered. First, Tony Tiger challenged me to a panic brake stop. The SS 396 can outstop the GTO, but can it outgo the GTO? And what about the Fairlane GT? And then they lined us up for a quarter-mile run. The answer? The SS 396 can outgun GTO and leave Fairlane's GT in the dust. We could outstop them and outgun them, but could we outrun them? An all-out high-speed run would tell. From a standing start to the half mile. It didn't take long to realize the SS 396 can go with the best of them. In fact, it's the pace setter. It was SS 396 going away. Now I was ready to make my move. I knew that the SS 396 takes a backseat to no one in the, go-go field. So I decided to go.
Are you going to stand there and just let them cut out on us, Dr. Yes?
Yes.
What's the matter with you? Can't you ever say no?
How could anyone say no to the SS 396?
Friends, meet Sheriff Quiet Up.
Howdy.
And his deputy, Calico Bass.
Howdy.
Now, we're going to let Quiet and Cal here test drive a number of Chevrolet and competitive trucks.
Why?
Because we need the honest, straight shooting, highly valued opinion of the two most upstanding citizens in these parts. We put a 1966 El Camino and a Ranchero at their disposal for the trip out to the Proving Grounds.
I get to drive the Chevy.
I thought I was gonna drive the Chevys.
Who's sheriff around here?
Oh, well, good.
And don't you forget it. But I'll tell you what I'll do, little deputy, just to make driving Fords a mite less painful.
What?
Had your eye on my silver belt buckle for a long time, ain't you?
Yep.
So I'm going to give it to you.
Swell.
Providing you, driving Ford trucks, can outdo Chevrolet in any event.
Well, okay, but watch it.
While Quiet and Cal mount up, let me take a minute to tell you about the El Camino, the hottest prestige pickup on the road. Not only pretty, but practical. Ford claims to have a box as big as ours, but is it all usable space? You judge for yourself. Now then, let's see who's got the most go. Ranchero has 289 cubic inches. El Camino goes all the way up to 396 cubic inches, up to 135 more horses than Ranchero. Say anything about Calico dealing off the bottom of the deck, but if you don't think an El Camino 396 can outrun Ford's hot dog production Mustang, give it a try. It's got near 90 more horses. Only Chevrolet offers a full-size prestige pickup with this kind of performance. And performance is the 1966 story for Chevy van, too. More performance out of fewer cubes spells greater efficiency. In stop-and-go city driving, with both part load and full load, Calico came up on the short end again, because the Chevy got about 1 mile more per gallon. In trucking, that can add up. Since the Econoline Super Van weighs about 140 pounds more and has a little lower GVW rating, Chevy van can handle about 200 pounds more payload. Next up, a little experiment in load distribution. Ford has added 18 inches of body, all at the rear, but left the wheelbase the same. So the sheriff insisted on piling the load at the rear of both trucks to see what would happen. The result, Calico came out on top for the first time. Whoa, Nellie! In fact, even with normal load patterns, you can end up with poor handling, because the weight distribution of the load area itself is out of balance. Once they redistributed the load, the boys ran into another little problem. Calico began to wonder if that tacked-on load space back there was worth all the trouble. Easy does it. Easy does it now, easy. Easy. Easy does it. That does it. Finally, 3/4-ton pickups with camper options. Chevrolets had a 327 with turbo-hydromatic. Ford's a 352 and a cruiser-matic. The thing about a camper is that it's got to sit, handle, and run almost like a passenger car.
Are you comfy quiet? Yep. Plenty of leg room. I can see well. Everything's handy. This sure is a good seat.
Have to be to hold all your beef. You'd make that Ford seat sag so much you could hardly see out.
Well, all you're going to see is my dust, because we're going to do an acceleration test. Go get in your Ford.
From a standing start, it's Chevy all the way. Proof of real ability to keep pace with passenger car traffic.
Little deputy, you've been riding drag all day. Now, our last test is riding stability. I'm going to take pity on you.
You gonna let me drive the Chevy?
Yep. Let you see what a good ride feels like.
What about the belt buckle?
If you can top me, the buckle's yours.
Crosswinds can really whip campers around, but it looks like smoother sailing for Calico.
I'm sorry.
Now, why did you want to go and do that for, Calico?
Well, you drew first, and I come out on top, so how about giving me that silver buckle?
What do you think I'm about to do, little
Oh,
lady?
you're gonna give me a belt.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh, now, Sheriff.
You
Now,
Harry
no,
Tidewater.
dignified person.